right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Goal Getters. I'm your host, John Ristino, on a beautiful fall Friday, and a lot of stuff this weekend. Of course, NFL. We got a lot to go through, so we're going to say some hellos here, though. First, Robin's here, and she is back, because last week, remember, you guys were all over the place in the studio doing stuff, going crazy, so it was just me alone.
Yes.
And I'm glad you're back, Robin.
Yes,
How are you?
I'm happy to be back, happy to talk about all the sports that have happened in the past week and all the upcoming sports for this weekend.
Let me talk to Wade for a second, because he was gone, too. You guys are so busy. How you doing, Wade?
Gorillas Inc. has been swamped with all this work, and we couldn't be happier. So excited to hear some goal getters last week. I apologize to everybody and that I wasn't able to talk, and me and Robin had to miss out. But excited I'm here back for Friday for goal getters. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you guys are both back. It was, I know, we were in, that's why we've been doing so. I mean, you know what? We never stay down, no matter what's going on. We, show must go on always.
That's right.
No matter what happens. And I got I can't stand this. But, I mean, the story, hold on, I got to check something here. The story has to be told. And, we do a lot of different shows here at Gorillas Inc. And this story sucks for sports. And but it has to be told. 7-0 Florida Panthers. They're 7-0 right now. Joel Quenneville won the Stanley Cup with Chicago. Has been an outstanding coach. He was a great defenseman back when he played for, I know he played for the Maple Leafs. I think he played for the Colorado Rockies. 7-0. They've won 7 straight. He resigns yesterday. Shocking. I mean, I didn't know what was going on, honestly.
Right.
And he resigned. So I knew this story that I'm going to bring out here, but I didn't really know a lot enough, so now I do. And let me reset it for everybody. I know, Robin, you already know. Former Chicago Blackhawks, at the time, he was considered an up-and-coming star, possibly, Kyle Beach. He came forward as the John Doe in that accused sexual assault case where he himself, back in 2010, was sexually assaulted by former video coordinator Brad Ulrich. Now, it was alleged, obviously, so there's been no admissions. There's been none of that. You know how that goes. But I, as I've always said in the past, I'm not going to go too far off the sports angles. Those things are not something people just did. Right. You'd have to almost be like Martin Scorsese or something to come up with some of the stuff that someone would know.
Right.
I know you know this.
Yes.
So, okay, it was 11 years ago. Ulrich invited Beach to his apartment. Now, this is, if you haven't heard it, I just want to reset, because honestly, I hadn't paid as much attention to it until I saw last night. Ulrich invited Beach to his apartment for dinner in May 2010. We don't know the sexual orientation. I don't know, and I don't care.
Right.
Beach alleges that Ulrich sexually assaulted him that night while threatening his position with the team. Now, you might say he was only a video coordinator. Well, Ulrich was a little more closer to Kevin Cheveldayoff and some of the others, and including Quenneville.
Right.
Beach now is a young player, coming into the league. Ulrich claims it was consensual, he says. Okay, whatever you want to say, but Kyle Beach says otherwise. Now, here's let alone the assaults, of course, but here's the rest. 11 years ago, Beach goes to members of the team. The way he put it was higher-ups. He was on Sportsnet the other night in TSN, both networks. And that team won the Stanley Cup, and the story after they won the Cup was ignored. So it was ignored. Beach then goes to the Blackhawks mental health counselor. His name is Jim Gary, who brought Beach's allegations to the president at the time, John McDonough, assistant GM Kevin Cheveldayoff, who is now GM, maybe even president of hockey operations for the Winnipeg Jets, and then head coach Joel Quenneville. The team allowed this is where, first off, in that meeting, allegedly, I don't know how we find this out, okay? It was in the paper today. There, in a meeting with those three men I just talked about, there was a concern about they didn't want to talk about during the playoffs. Playoffs are going on. They don't want that kind of...
Right.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
Sad statement. The team allows Ulrich... They gave Ulrich an ultimatum. You either resign or you go through the process of an investigation. He chooses to resign. And, of course, they give him a nice severance package when he resigns.
Right.
Now, here's the kick, and here's the problem. Well, it's all a problem, but here's the double problem. 3 years later, Aldrich is arrested and pleads guilty to criminal sexual behavior with a minor. So, the Blackhawks wanted to bury this, and in doing so, left open the opportunity for a child to be sexually assaulted. Now, I'm saying that because I'm assuming at the time there's a lot of things that could have happened there. And of course, this story, you can read a lot about it. If you want to go online, it's everywhere right now. You Google this story from TMZ all the way to Sportsnet in Toronto, in Canada. This is an incredible, horrible, rotten scandal. Joel Quenneville resigned yesterday from the 7-0 Florida Panthers team. And think about that, Robin.
I mean, that right there tells me that he's guilty of something, because why would he just resign if there was nothing that he was trying to hide?
Well, you know what? It's got a lot of similarities to, like, Joe Paterno.
Right.
That whole situation.
Yes.
With, what's his face? Can't you remember
Sandusky.
his name? Yeah, his name. So it's got similar because, yeah, sure, he didn't commit any acts, but if you know about it,
Right.
you know, that's a big problem. Now, Cheveldayoff got off easy, I see, by the NHL. I saw, just before we came on here, I saw that he is not going to face any disciplinary action, which is interesting to me. So but I don't know how much he knew compared to Quenneville and John McDonough. Remember, in the Sandusky case, the athletic director went to prison
Right.
over it.
And he should have.
Yes, for knowing what was happening and not doing anything about it.
People in positions of authority that find people in any position, but especially people in positions of authority that find something like that out and condone it are just as guilty as the person that's committing it.
Right.
Because if you know it and you can stop it and you don't, then you're saying it's okay with you.
Right. Yeah. No, it's yes. I mean, that's basically what's going on here. That's why Joel Quenneville resigns. I mean, Joel Quenneville resigns because he knows the pressure is going to be, there's going to be pressure.
Right.
Media pressure, the whole deal. Think about Kyle Beach. Okay?
Yeah.
Who knows what his background is? I don't know. I'm sure we're going to find out. We don't know what kind of a childhood he had, where he comes from. Could have been, you know what I mean? You know how that goes.
Sure.
He may have been hurt in the past, is what I read on TMZ, but they didn't have exactly, that could just be, I don't want to say that happened, but that was what TMZ's kind of alleging to.
Right.
So we know, that when people get hurt like that as a younger person, sometimes they never get past the point of hurt.
Right.
Like, if you were 12 years old, sometimes you're 12 years old for a while.
Right. Until you're ready to deal with it.
Right. So it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Not all people, but that goes on.
Yeah. And
Go ahead,
and
Rob.
these predators, they prey on people who are more vulnerable. They're able to see it, especially, when it's an adult with a child or a person of authority over another person. They know that they have that power, and they look for vulnerabilities and prey on that.
Yeah. Wade.
I believe that the Blackhawks should be facing some serious penalties here as well. I mean, look at Joe Paterno, look at Penn State. Joe Paterno allowed it to happen. He wasn't a part of it, but he allowed it to happen, allowed it to get swept under the rug, and he caught repercussions because of it. Penn State caught repercussions because of it.
He went to prison.
Yes. So there is something that needs to be done with the Blackhawks organization here as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you think if Paterno doesn't pass away, he's going to prison. I really believe that's
Right.
They're going like Sandusky, because it was said too much to them. That one quarterback at the time, I can't remember his name, McCreary or
Yeah.
something like that.
I think his first name was
McCreary.
Mike.
Yeah, he reported it to know with nothing done, but he himself at the time was a young man himself.
Right.
Still, I still think a guy like him should have done a little more
Right.
than he did, and but it's so crazy how when you think about it, these guys are put on a pedestal. Joe Paterno was almost godlike.
Mm-hmm.
They had a statue to him as if he was, whoever. They had a statue built
Sure.
like he was Abraham Lincoln. So it's crazy. This is the saddest. This is a horrible story. But this ain't the first we've heard of it. I remember Theo Fleury. But this was more when he was in the minors. As an actual child, he was molested by that coach who I can't remember his name.
I don't remember
but
his
you can
name
see
either.
his face,
Yeah.
and him and a couple other players. Because in the NHL, and when these kids are coming up, a lot of times when they're 14, 15 years old, they have to go. They could be from Ontario going out to Manitoba, and there's families that have been doing it for decades.
Right.
And a lot of them are great. They do nothing. Well, here, the family didn't really do it. It was the coach. And he,
Yeah.
Fleury when he came out, and the book he writes, and everything was just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's really interesting, though, that Theron Fleury had that, story that I think someday you'll have to read it. I mean, if you haven't, and out there, if you're out there with, Google, of course, just go look it up. Look what he had. I mean, look at what happened there. And then you look at Kyle Beach. I mean,
Right. It's heartbreaking. It's, sports is supposed to be where you go to relax. And when real life stuff like this creeps into sports, it, kind of brings the fun and the levity of it all, and makes you realize just how serious this is.
yeah. Yeah, it was really upsetting. And Joel Quenneville, too, it's funny because I just remember him as a player a little bit, definitely as a coach. And when these guys, you're at 7-0, you know how it is. It means everything, obviously.
Sure.
But also, they're making $8 million, $10 million a year to be the coach. You're sitting at 7-0 in Florida. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because right now in the league, Florida's 7-0, right, in the Atlantic Division. Carolina's 6-0. The Blues are 5-0. The Flames are 5-1. It's early on, in the season. But, yeah, that was just a really, really big, shocking development. I wasn't even going to do this story, but I felt like it had to be, we had to at least discuss it because it was just...
Absolutely.
I hate it. Everyone hates it. Everyone should hate it. And I hope this tells everyone, though, kind of, you never know what's gone on in someone's life. You never know what has... you just have to always remember that anything can empathy is the word I'm trying to use, I guess. So we're going to get off this story, but please go to Google, check out the story. There's a heck of a lot more than I just brought up. I only had a couple paragraphs of it, but a real lot more of a horrible story that's more unfolding. And Wade's right. There has to be repercussions. I'm shocked that Shovelday has gotten off easy as the NHL. So why don't we transition out of that? We talked about the NHL a little bit, where Florida, sitting at 7-0, they're going to lose Quenneville. I'm going to assume they won't miss a beat because I'm sure whoever the assistant coach is there, I think they'll be fine. Carolina's playing really well. Frederick Anderson from the Maple Leafs is outstanding this October. Unbelievable. Usually he can't play in October, but right now he's something else, and he's got them at 6-0. And the Blues are back. The Flames are back. The Sabres are playing well off the bat. The Kraken got their first victory the other night over Montreal, 5-2 in Seattle. They've had another win, though, too, so they've got 2 wins. And they're playing decent hockey too. I've watched a couple of their games. Really cool uniforms. I kind of like the Kraken. So NHL just starting, just like the NBA. NBA is just starting too. The Knicks are. I see my Knicks shirt. They're 4-1 and playing really well. So you know, and if you think about other things going on, the World Series, Robin, is taking place right now.
Yes.
And we are at game. I think we're at game 3 of. Yes, game 3. Houston at Atlanta. There's 3 straight games in Atlanta now. Tonight at 8:00 is game 3. Luis Garcia, who we talked about last week, he pitched.
Yes.
Against Ian Anderson for Atlanta. Now, if you were going to bet this game, they are both at minus 110. So they're pretty, what do you call it? Like, it's obviously an even game.
Right.
You know what? I think it's time I take a break. It's about 20 after 6. I want to take a break. Whenever you're ready, I'd like to take one. And got to reset. And I'll be back in a moment.
Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason, and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Are you stuck in your business? Are you facing a lot of struggles and obstacles to take your business to the next level online? Do you want to empower your business, scale it, and level it up? We are here for you. If you are just starting out, small business or big business, whatever, we will help you to level it up. Go fast and far away from your competitors to a limit that will impress them. They will see you as king of the niche. Get more traffic, more leads, more audience. Go viral equals more ideal customers and more sales. Unlock the top secrets of sales and secrets of online success. As you see, we are living in a digital transformational in all fields. New updates, creative ideas, and new advanced strategies. Do it with us right now and save your time and money. Pass all the obstacles and struggles that face you or will face. Let's rock your target. If you don't act right now, believe me, your competitors will catch our rocket to reach a higher than you and faster than your business. Time equals money. Procrastination equals more regrets.
All right, we're back. Thank you for that to our sponsors. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, Falls Count Anywhere with Chris DiCarlo and my friend Charlie Turner. Can't wait for that. It's going to be all about professional wrestling, and I'm excited. It's going to be a pilot. It's the first show, and man, I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. But we'll remind you later at the end of the show because I'll tell you, if you're into professional wrestling, it's going to be the place to be. These guys are so knowledgeable. When we met with them, and I know you guys remember Wade, Robin, it was unreal. They are ready to, I mean, they were knowledgeable, isn't even the word to say about Charlie and Chris.
I don't know much about wrestling, right? And I do some graphics and stuff like that, and they're so knowledgeable at it that I messed up and put singing in the background
Right.
as one of their images, and they're like, no, wrestling has 3 ropes,
Yeah,
not 4 ropes. So I'm sorry if I offended them, and in the future, any wrestling fan that is watching, I will do my best to make sure I have all the details correct.
I'll tell you what, man, I can't wait. I've been looking forward to this for like 2 weeks. I can't wait. That's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Let's get into football. We have a lot. Let's start with NCAA football. We have a new top 10 out, and, Georgia sits at number 1. I believe they had a bye last week. Well, this week they play Florida at 3:30 on Saturday. 7-0, Georgia. Cincinnati stays at number 2. They are 7-0. They did struggle, though, last week against Navy, a little more than I expected, but they stay at number 2. I'm going to assume, like we talked about last week, as long as they go unblemished, they're not leaving number 2. I mean, maybe, I don't know, they could throw them down to 3 or 4, but they're not leaving the playoff. Alabama has a bye. Somehow, they jumped into number 3. It's odd, but not surprising. They're at number 3. Oklahoma's at number 4. They're 8-0. Tomorrow they play Texas Tech at 3:30. Number 5 is Ohio State on the outside looking in. They are 6-1, and tomorrow at 7:30, huge matchup against Penn State. Penn State lost a 9 overtime game against Illinois last week, which really is knocked them right out of the top 10. So, but still be a good matchup for Ohio State. And, Penn State isn't going to be an easy one for the Buckeyes. Number 6, now this sets up for such a great Ohio State-Michigan game. Number 6 is Michigan. But tomorrow, number 6 Michigan is at number 8 Michigan State at noon. Great game. So, that one right there, it hasn't been this good in a long time between Michigan and Michigan State. So that's number 6 Michigan at 7-0 against number 8 Michigan State, who is 7-0 tomorrow at noon, live from East Lansing. Number 7 Oregon, who beat Ohio State, who is 6-1 because their loss then was to someone who was pretty, wasn't a top 10 team. I don't even know if they were ranked. But Oregon plays the Colorado Buffaloes tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Number 9 Iowa, who is 6-1, takes on Wisconsin in Wisconsin at 12 noon. Wisconsin, of course, is always, whatever it is, they're going to have a good running game. And so that'll be a good battle, Iowa against Wisconsin. Ole Miss rounds out the top 10 at 6-1, and they play tomorrow at number 7. At 7 p.m. at Auburn. The Auburn Tigers, it's been a little while since Auburn's been good. And, it appears that it's weird. It's odd because there's a team that, they're from Alabama. So their rival, obviously, the Crimson Tide. And they have been, they've struggled for the past probably, 5-6 years. But Ole Miss at number 10, 6-1, will take on Auburn tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So that's your rundown on the top 10. Of course, if you're here in Western New York, where we're doing our show from, University of Buffalo had a big win last week. And I think they might have bye this week, but I'm not positive. But, yes, just check out all the games tomorrow. Great games, Michigan State. At noon tomorrow. Great to have it at noon. The game will be done by 3. Outstanding game. You're watching, and then of course, right after that, you go watch Falls Count Anywhere, and you're in great shape. You love it. What a Saturday. Hockey, all kinds of stuff. We talked about Major League Baseball. All right, so that's NCAA football, and Alabama got in there, but it doesn't even matter at this point. When you're looking at it, Georgia, Cincinnati, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Michigan State, someone in that group is going. Well, one of them obviously is going to be number 4, but you're going to have someone on the outside looking in that is going to be upset as usual, because Cincinnati has really upset the apple cart. They're the ones that throw the wrench in, which is kind of cool, and I like it. But they've got to stay unblemished. If they lose one game, it's over. And because the competition now is going to be light for them. I mean, they're playing Tulane this week. They should handle Tulane easily. And now there's style points too, Wade. You got to win games big. It's not just winning. And you got to bury them. It's going to be 54-3. So yeah. Style points, man.
Yeah, I guess not only do you have to cover way more than you have to cover so you can be in that 4-game playoff.
You have to. You have to win big. You can't be Oklahoma playing Texas Tech and beat them by 2, because you'll get knocked out. You could see Michigan jump in there, Ohio State easily. It's just all about those. It's got to be done with style. That's why Cincinnati, if they beat Tulane by 2, watch them drop. I can't see them knocking them out of 4. But if there's an 8-0 Michigan, if there's a 11-0 Michigan with an 11-0 Cincinnati, 11-0, you know what I'm saying? It'll be hard for Cincinnati to hold on.
Yeah, of course.
And probably not right, but they won't be able to hold on because of the competition. That's why they got
the competition, right? Right.
They got to beat the hell out of everyone. So that's NCAA football. Let's go to just a little recap of last week, week 7 in the NFL. Biggest game of the week, and we talked about it last week, was the Tennessee Titans against the Kansas City Chiefs. Boy, the Chiefs are 3-4 right now, and they're just reeling. They got buried last week, 27-3 by the Chiefs, and by the Titans. Mahomes got knocked out of the game. Looks like he's playing though this week, but he got dinged up pretty good. And Wade, I don't know, man. The Chiefs are looking.
They drove. They flew 500 miles to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
this is a Chiefs team that their defense is weak. They don't want to tackle anybody. I'm watching the games, and they just don't want to tackle anybody. I mean, that's not a defense. You got to get back to the fundamentals if you're gonna.
And Mahomes, a lot of turnovers, just throwing the ball up in the air. Doesn't really care. Not that he doesn't care, but I think he's in love with his arm, maybe. You've seen some of it. I mean, it's been crazy. Off his back foot, being hit, falling backwards, and just throws it. And it's in the vicinity, but.
And he's done that before, and he's gotten away with it. Yeah. So it's about time that all that, just what you're not trained to do. No quarterback is trained to do anything like Mahomes is doing, and he deserves to throw them interceptions.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, and they've been behind almost in every game this year too, even the ones they've won. They're always behind. It's an odd team, but we'll see if they turn it around. The Packers last week defeated Washington 24-10. No surprise there. Big game here was a surprise to me. Just not so much who won, but how they won. The Cincinnati Bengals went to Baltimore, won 41-17. Wade, it was a statement.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Chase there, Jamar Chase.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, wow.
Unbelievable. He's, I think he might lead the league in yards. I think in yards receiving. And, but the defense of the Bengals, that was what surprised me. Like how they just really played well. This is a good team. This is a really good team. This is where Burrow might be starting to edge into the same category as Herbert. Like, maybe he's not there, but, because he did get hurt and missed a lot of time. But, geez, he's got, it's so funny. You look at him, and then you look at all the quarterbacks now, the new ones that came into the league, and you look at the control Burrow has and the control Herbert had. I mean, they're just, they've been there for 10 years. And this Bengals team is really good. So they beat the Ravens 41-17 once again. And I don't want to harp on this guy, but, man, Lamar needs to win a game. That needs to be won. He's got to. Maybe he needs help. I don't know what's going on here, but they generally have a good offensive line in that team. Their running game's a little. I mean, they did lose J.K. Dobbins. That's a tough one because now you're going Latavius Murray and kind of also, backups.
Just it was a couple the week before that though. Them backups looked awesome. They really did. They're running all over the place. Devontae Freeman.
Right, but they're frustrating because I want to see the Jackson I saw in Louisville. But now we're in the NFL, so obviously things change. But he's the type of guy who just needs one time, it feels like, to get the monkey off his back. And then it might be, Here's a game that shocked me, even though it wasn't really a great game, was the Giants beating the Panthers 25-3.
Who called that? And I didn't see that coming. I picked the Panthers to destroy last week, and
I didn't see it coming, though, because, all right, the Giants could have won the game, but not like this. I mean, the Panthers now have lost 4 in a row after starting out 3-0. So, I think they're having a hard time, though, because Darnold was really good when McCaffrey was there. And without McCaffrey, you can see the completion percentage has gone way down. Everything has kind of dropped off. And so McCaffrey comes back soon. But I'll tell you, he's reminding me of, he's almost like J.J. Watt at this point, where you can't finish the season anymore. Like J.J. Watt's done.
Yeah, what a waste of money.
Yeah.
What a waste of money.
Gosh, and McCaffrey and it's too bad because McCaffrey's very dynamic. What a great player to watch, and often injured. The Falcons, in a very good game last week, beat the Dolphins 30-28 on a last-second, I think touchdown pass. And I think it wasn't Kyle Pitts. I think it was Ridley, and Kyle Pitts is starting to wake up. He looks good. He's what everything the whole Megatron thing. He's starting to show it. I think he had 8 catches for like 75 yards.
Crazy how the spread was 2.5 there.
2.5. Yeah, always. And the Dolphins though fought back. And interesting note on the Dolphins. This was reported out by insiders in the NFL. Deshaun Watson may settle if he settles his 22 civil lawsuits. It will complete a trade to the Dolphins where Houston would get 3 first-round draft picks and 2 second-round picks. Dolphins owner Stephen Ross wants clarity before completing the trade, and the NFL trade deadline is Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. So it's got to be tough for Tua going into the rest. Now, Tua has been, they said he's their starter the rest of the season. I saw that. But that's a terrible thing. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be not a real...
Yeah, I'd feel terrible if I was Tua right now.
Yeah, it's got to be a hell of a kick.
But this also, what this does do for the Dolphins as well is that if this trade does go through, they have a starting quarterback in Tua that they could trade away.
Yeah.
So the Tua does have some value behind him. So there's another move.
In Houston, I give them credit. If you can get 3 first-round picks for this, for what's gone on here, and I think it's a great trade for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised.
I wouldn't do that if I was the Dolphins.
I don't think I would either.
No.
But just because of all the, and I guess they won't, but all the possible side show that could come with this pending, and if I'm Houston, I jump all over that. The Patriots killed the Jets 54-13. Wilson was knocked out. You know what? Robin, who's the quarterback for the Jets right now? Why am I forgetting his name? He's out?
No, Zach Wilson's hurt. Mike Williams.
Mike Williams is thank you. Williams is the coach, is the quarterback now. Wilson's, I don't know if he's out for the year, but I think he might be. I think he is.
He's out for 2 to 4 weeks.
Is it 2 to 4 weeks?
Yeah.
So you may not see him again. Why would you see him again?
This is why Robin is kicking our ass in fantasy football.
I know what the hell's going on. And but what I'm saying is, though, he may not come back. Why would the Jets bother putting him in that position to be injured anymore at this point in time? I mean, the Patriots buried him 54-13. Raiders 33-22 over the Eagles. Rams beat a very tough Lions team 28-19, where the Lions had a lead quite often in that game. The Buccaneers hammered the Bears 38-3. Cardinals covered and beat the Texans good 31-5. The Colts, Wade's Colts, beat the 49ers 30-18. Really good game. It was a rain game though. They called it something crazy. I forgot what the name of it was, whatever this weather system was, but it just poured rain.
I went 1-2 in my picks last week, and the Colts was the only one I got right, and they're the underdog too. Yeah,
with a big win. Horrible game on Monday night. The Saints and Seahawks. It ended 13-10. Just a really boring battle, which I thought was going to be better, but it just didn't materialize. And that was week 7. Now, week 8 started last night, of course, and it was a great game. The 7-1 Packers, or no, yeah, 7-1 Packers, or 6-1 Packers were taking on the 7-0 Cardinals. And the Packers win the game 24-21. Last second craziness, I'm sure everyone saw it, where A.J. Green either went the wrong way, didn't know what was happening, almost like he was blocking.
He didn't look for the ball. I mean, you're on 2 yards away, you got to look for that ball right away.
13 seconds left, too.
Right. So, I believe they had a timeout or something left, too. I would have probably ran that ball one more time.
Maybe that's what he thought. That's what it looked. I thought he was going to block. It was something weird, because he turned in my mind, I thought that's what he was doing.
It's like when the Madden controller just goes off, their player just stopped and did nothing. That was unfortunate, and maybe he didn't hear an audible. Maybe I don't know what happened there, but it looked like it was AJ Green's fault. You got to look for that ball.
Yeah. And they would have kicked a field goal to tie the game.
What they did and what Arizona did to get there, they stopped them there was down to 4th and goal with the Packers, where the Packers could have went up by 10 points if they would have gotten in the end zone. They stopped them 4 times. It was on the goal line.
On the goal line.
And to drive down the field like that with 3 minutes left, and that is your play.
Remember, they went in shotgun, which I was going nuts. I couldn't believe they only needed. It wasn't even 6 inches; it might have been 3 inches. And for some reason, the Packers went shot. I was stunned. I thought for sure Rodgers can just sneak this in, turn and give it to Aaron Jones.
And then he tried sneaking it in on that last play under the shotgun. It was so stupid where he runs off. Yes.
I would never. I'm going to tell you what. Let me this way. I got 3 inches to get. I better be able to get it.
Oh yeah.
With my running game, with my offensive line and running game, I would think. But they didn't.
What's Lombardi's quote there? If we can't get a yard, we don't deserve to win the game.
Yeah, well, that's it. But they won.
But they didn't deserve to win.
No, and the interception was incredible too. It was a great grab, and that DB was just cut 4 weeks ago by the Cardinals, so he got some revenge on them.
That Cardinals D is tough.
Yeah,
that Cardinals D is tough. Their goal line defense. There's some. I think they're 2nd or 3rd, and
they're good. It's a good
team. In that red zone defense.
And the Packers are surprising me a little more after that first game against the Saints, where they looked all discombobulated. Wow, they have really just run the table. So they win, opening up week 8 in a very, very good game. So why don't we talk about real quick some week 8 previews, as get you ready for betting and maybe a little fantasy talk and all of that. Speaking of fantasy, the Ravens and the Raiders are on bye this week. So if you have any of them, make sure you get them out of your lineup. Yesterday, Reggie Cobb did a nice job for fantasy owners, getting 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I was able to put him in there. I think I finally made a good call for once.
He was a really good pickup, knowing the injury situation that Green Bay had. He was. He only got 3 receptions, but those 2 touchdowns. Yeah,
saved him. You're right. It would have been a disaster.
Right. Yeah, it would have been a 5-point night.
And then he showed shame. At 1:00 on Sunday, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 3-3 are at the 4-3 Cleveland Browns. The Browns are minus 3.5. Over/under is 42.5. The Browns will have Mayfield, but he's got the torn labrum and shoulder fracture and all of that in his non-throwing arm, so he can't get dumped on his arm. So it's going to be interesting. Got to give him credit for taking a run at it. Case Keenum will be there, who seems to be serviceable, like he could with a good team, do well.
He's one of the better backups in the league, I would say.
He's all right, yeah.
I don't understand Cleveland coaching here. This is your franchise quarterback. You don't put him in with that injury because one sack landing on that arm can destroy it even more. Turn him into a fucking Jack Eichel for just a different sport. So dumb move in my opinion. Case Keenum. Bears won last week. I'm not Bears. Browns won last week with Case Keenum. So why not just give it another week or two?
And especially if you have Chubb and Hunt back, which I'm assuming they do. And I think it's risky. If Mayfield, obviously, one more like that, he'll be done for the year. He'll have to go in for surgery, and that'll be it. Steelers coming off a bye, and of course the Browns are battling a number of injuries. I don't know if any of you guys picked this game. I don't think so, right?
Nope.
What do you guys think? In Cleveland, Steelers, Lions -3.5. 42 is the over/under.
I'm going to say the Browns are idiots, Mayfield gets hurt, and Steelers win.
All right. Robin, any thoughts on this game?
I also think that the Steelers could win this game. I just think that the Browns, with Mayfield in there, are going to have to play too conservatively for them to win.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the Steelers could win, too, this game. What a rivalry this is. I mean, this is one of the best rivalries in football, so it will be tight. I don't think the Steelers are in the Browns' class, though. I really think the Browns are the better team. But the Mayfield thing could be a problem, maybe, you know. It's a lot of pressure on that offensive line, a lot of pressure not to get him touched. So it'll be interesting, and it's going to be a good one. That's at 1 o'clock. If I had to pick this game, I'd probably still hold on with Cleveland if Chubb and those guys can do anything, but I could see why that could go off the rails there for the Browns. Here's a game that's not really much of interest, but maybe is a better, and I hope, you might have some players. The Eagles at 2-5 are at the 0-7 Lions. The Eagles are -3.5, over/under 48. Lions have been close to winning. Hell of a game last week against the Rams. It was kind of the Goff, Stafford's, yeah, the matchup. And the Eagles just aren't any good. So what do you guys think? I know I didn't play this game. I
actually played this game.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I did as well.
Oh.
Surprisingly.
All right, everyone
the
played
worst
this
game of the week.
I like the Eagles in this game, but that's just me because I think the Lions might have been in their Super Bowl last week, and I think they're very disappointed. But what do I know? Because I don't know how to pick anything. Another 1 o'clock game. I'll watch it. I'll be the only one probably around here. The 49ers at 2-4 are in Chicago. The 3-4 Bears. The 49ers are -3.5 on the road. Over/under is only 39.5. 49ers have scored 21 or less points in 4 of the last 5 weeks. The Bears don't score points because they don't even understand there's it's like they don't even know there's a forward pass anymore. So they're a better defense than the 49ers. I don't know what to say. Anything could happen there. If I had to pick that game, I'd just go with the Bears and the points. I didn't pick it, so that's my thoughts. I also think when the over-under's that low, I stay under. Robin, any thoughts on this game? I don't think you picked it.
No, I didn't pick this one.
Wade did, though. I'm pretty sure Wade did, yeah.
I would go with the points on this one as well. To be honest, I think it's going to be a mess, and if it wasn't the Bears, I would never watch it.
Yeah. How dare you? Yeah. No, it's true, though.
But if I was forced to pick it, I would go with the Bears.
And Wade, we know, already picked it. So the next game we have is Tennessee at 5-2 at Indianapolis, the 3-4 Colts. The Titans are only -1. Over/under is 49.5. Of course, Derrick Henry is just, he's a nightmare for everyone he plays against. And of course, Tennessee's coming off 2 big wins, KC and Buffalo. I mean, putting them on notice, basically. I mean, they can claim they're claiming they're the best team in the league right now in the AFC. If you look at it that way, after beating those other 2 teams, I didn't select this game, and I can't see why Tennessee doesn't win. I mean, this doesn't make any sense to me. Could it be a trap game for Tennessee? Sure could. These 2 teams play each other a lot. Indy's not as bad as. They're not bad at all, really. They're okay. I wouldn't want to play this game because it's too easy to say Tennessee. You know what I mean? It's just like they're giving it to you. They never hand you a gift. Robin, what do you think of this?
I think it's a very, very even game. If I had to bet it, I would take Tennessee just because I think they have the momentum in their favor. But I think it's going to be a very good game, a very, very tight game.
Wade, what do you think? Your Colts. against the Titans.
I see in this game, I see the Colts being able to move the ball. I definitely think the Colts can move the ball. I think it's going to actually be a high-scoring affair. However, I have I don't think the Colts are really. I don't see anybody really stopping Derrick Henry. They get him going. They open up the passing game. Yeah. That's why I think this game is going to be high-scoring. But could it come down to just a couple points? It could. It really could. Because that Tennessee defense is no good.
Yeah. No, they're not. Yeah. They struggle, and the A.J. Brown's woken up. So you're right. I mean, it's interesting. Tennessee's good. They're good. They got to be good. You beat Buffalo. Yeah, not the defense, but is it mediocre? Is it good enough, you think?
It reminds me of Atlanta the previous few years.
Right, when Atlanta had the yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. That's a good comparison. Next game. Bengals at 5-2 at the 1-5 Jets. Mike White starts for the Jets at quarterback. Corey Davis isn't playing. I don't know if that matters. The Bengals.
For fantasy purposes, it might.
It might, but it'd be horrible if you had to use them with Mike White.
Yeah, that's true. I mean? That's true.
Times are tough. The Bengals are only -9.5. Over-under's 43.5. Is this one of those games that if it's going to go over, the Bengals have to make it go over?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to score 40 of those points.
100%.
I didn't select the game, but looking at it, I couldn't go with the Jets. I'd have to go with the Bengals.
I would definitely go with the Bengals. Burrow is just looking, he's looking good. He's looking so composed. What he's got going with Jamar Chase, I don't see how they lose to a terrible Jets team.
It's good that maybe Zach Wilson got injured because he was set to break the record for most interceptions by a rookie. So maybe he won't break that record. Nobody wants that record.
No, I mean Troy Aikman talked about it when he was a rookie because they were terrible in Dallas and the beating he took. I think they might have been 1-15 or 2-14, whatever it was, and. So, yeah, God, being a rookie quarterback has got to be so big. You know what I mean? Like, you're just set up because you're going to bad teams usually. I mean, like, Mac Jones kind of lucks out because he goes to a team that's decent. So, he doesn't have those kind of issues like, Justin Fields and Wilson. And Lance wasn't even going to really play. So, but, yeah, the Bengals should be able to handle that easily. By halftime, it should be long gone. And I don't think the Jets mind because they can get another high pick out of this and just keep building their team. Here's a game that I don't understand how this isn't just a beating. The 1-6 Dolphins are going to Buffalo, who are 4-2. The Bills are -14. The over-under is 48.5. Xavier Howard has played well. He's going to have to take on Stephon Diggs. The Bills coming off a bye after a loss at home, rivalry game. Weather's not going to be outstanding. I can't see how Buffalo just doesn't bury. Frustrations might be taken out on the Dolphins. What do you think, Robin?
I agree, and to be honest, I'm not sure why I didn't pick the Bills as one of my picks this week because looking at the game, it's probably one of the most lopsided games of the week.
14 just scares me.
Yeah.
Only because of the rivalry factor.
Right.
Just because sometimes they only win by, you know what I mean.
Right.
It goes. There's just that, but it's just not a matchup. Right?
This is the second time they're playing this.
That's
it
right.
is, and they did play earlier. I believe the score was like 35-3 or something like that too. It's where the Bills blew them out. So, like you said, coming off that loss and a bye week, this is a week that I believe they're going to cover.
Yeah, they should pummel them. I mean, into this little bit of I don't know. You never know how true these things are about Deshaun Watson, but it's still out there, and these guys are reading it. They're young guys. They're online. They read everything. Can't see how Buffalo doesn't just. This will be another game that I think Buffalo might have to score close to the 48 to get that to go over. I would think there's going to be frustration taken out on the Dolphins, and with where the Dolphins are at, they probably don't care because now they're looking at draft at this point. So that's that game. The Rams, and the 6-1 Rams are headed to Houston to take on the 1-6 Texans. That line, Houston at home, is plus 14.5. The over-under is 47.5. Their offense is horrible. Defense not bad for the Texans, but offense is really, really bad. Davis Mills is just having a hard time. And the Stafford to Cooper Kupp connection's been unbelievable this year. And I can't see how this one. I hate playing that kind of points at home, but I just can't see how the Rams don't.
Did the Rams cover last week?
Pummel. No, because the Lions.
Right. It was like 17 or something like that, right?
It ended up 28-19. So and that game was in LA too. And this one is they're going to Houston, but what are you gonna do?
I'd pick the Rams with the. I'd say they're gonna cover. Let's say they cover this week because last week they didn't, and just how Vegas works.
Yeah, that's true. And it's embarrassed. They were embarrassed last week, the Rams, a little bit.
I like the under in this game. Because I just don't think that the Texans can score, and I think that they have, like you said, a decent defense to where I think the Rams are going to win the game, but I think the Texans won't let it get out of hand with their defense.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
The Rams will probably need to score 45 of those points. Maybe even 48. I don't know.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how the total's that high, but I love the under on that game.
All right, so let's talk real quick about these 4 o'clock games. A good one. The Patriots at 3-4 are at the Chargers 4-2. Chargers are -4. 49 is the over/under. Chargers also now coming off a bye and a loss to the Ravens. This is their first game back, so they've had a lot of time to recover. The Patriots, of course, scored 54 on the hapless Jets. Wade, you picked this game, right? Is this one yours?
Yes, it looks like you both picked it.
Oh, we both picked it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta keep quiet. So what about you? What did you do?
I like the Chargers here. I think they come out and make a statement. I think they more than cover. I would definitely go with the Chargers in this one.
Well, I'll save mine for later, and Wade too. Another 4:05 game is the 1-5 Jacksonville Jaguars against the 2-5 Seattle Seahawks. Seattle is -3. The game is in Seattle, over under 44. Geno Smith takes on Trevor Lawrence. James Robinson is awfully good running back for the Jaguars, and it seems like the Jaguars' offense has been improving steadily. But you still, on Seattle's side, DK Metcalf, I think Alex Collins will be starting at running back. I think in this one, I think Jacksonville could win the game. I wouldn't bet this game. I wouldn't want to bet this game. But if I had to, I think I'm going Jacksonville in this one. How about you?
I agree. I like Jacksonville in this one as well.
In Seattle still.
Right. I just think that they can score the points, and I think that Robinson is going to be the difference maker in this game.
All right. Wade, what do you think of this one?
I also agree that I believe Jacksonville is going to win this game. Man, just Geno Smith can't do it. He can't do it.
Yeah, he's been around a while. I'm not sure on the age on him, but it feels like he's been around quite a while.
First round draft pick.
Yeah, from like West Virginia or something.
Yep, West Virginia. Yeah. Did he get picked over E.J. Manuel?
I know. He might have.
He
it
might
was
have.
in that.
Yeah,
Think
it
about
was
that.
that
E.J.
year.
Manuel.
Yeah.
Jeez. 4:25, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 6-1 are taking on the 4-2 New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. New Orleans at home is +4.5, and it is 50. Winston returns. Well, doesn't return to Tampa, but gets to play his old team. Tampa leads the NFL with 21 passing touchdowns. They're third in scoring with 33 points a game. The Saints rank 8th in defense and third in total points allowed at 16 a game. Mark Ingram has made his way back to New Orleans as he was traded from Houston back to the Saints. So you get Ingram and Kamara back together again. And could be a good game. This has the makings of a good game. I didn't pick it, right?
No, you didn't. I did.
Okay, well, I think New Orleans is going to win. And I think they're going to win outright. I kind of like them a lot this week, and I don't know why I didn't pick them.
Against Tampa Bay.
I really like New Orleans this week, yeah. I just think their defense is better. I think – I'm not – you know what? You're going to have Tampa without – I mean, the Bears aren't a decent measuring stick for me. So they – Antonio Brown, Gronk, I think they're all out still. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with them. I think I like New Orleans to win this game. outright.
That is going to be the pick of the year in my mind if you get that, because I don't see that happening at all. Tampa Bay is going to probably win just like how they beat the Bears.
Oh, jeez. Well, you might be right. I mean, New Orleans, with Winston, I don't know. I'm banking on this defense being able to control them. And the over-under is 50. So that's interesting on this one. Could go under, maybe, I guess. If Tampa beats them, then they won't score. You know what I mean? I have a feeling it'd be like that.
Right.
It would be 38-3 or something.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the Saints. I should have probably picked them in my picks. Here's another game at 425. The Washington football team at 2-5 are taking on the Denver Broncos in Denver, who are 3-4. Denver and Carolina are a lot alike. Started out a bit strong, but have lost their last 4. Denver's -3, 44.5. They're hoping Von Miller and Jerry Jeudy are back. Washington's defense has not played well at all, but they're still dangerous, because they do have the pass rushers. They're still dangerous at any time. Javonte Williams, speaking of the fantasy a little bit, seems like he's starting to slowly take away carries from Melvin Gordon. So that's interesting. The matchup is Bridgewater versus Heineke. Horrible game to bet, I feel. You would think it's an even game. Denver's -3 just because of the altitude and being home. So I would hate to pick this game. Chances are, if I had to, I'd go Denver. But I don't know if they'd cover 3. I don't know. I'd probably go Denver. What about you, Robin? Any thoughts?
I also wouldn't bet this game, but if I had to pick it, I think I would go with Washington. I think that their defense is severely underachieving, and one of these weeks they're bound to put it all together, and I think that this might just be the week.
Yeah. Wait.
I would go with the under. No, I don't even know what the under is.
44.5.
I would go with the under. I think this is a game that each team is. I see 17-14 game, just kind of like last week with Denver, how they lost 17-14. But they did move that ball in that second half, though. What Denver team are you going to get? That first half Denver team of last week or the second half Denver team? The two different completely teams right there. I'm going to say Washington to win it because it's, in my mind, it's going to be a very slow, boring game, and the pass rushers are for the Washington football team is I think superior.
Could be the difference. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Sunday night game. This is a good one. The Dallas Cowboys are going to Minnesota. Minnesota -2.5, 53.5. This is the problem: is Dak Prescott? Is he playing or not? We won't know till Saturday. So that's the big question. It's hard to bet this game if you don't know if Dak's playing or not. Delvin Cook's playing well. He's back and running hard as usual. And will Trevon Diggs get another interception? Because he sometimes is the equalizer on certain things. If Dak Prescott, I bet this game already.
Yes.
And I am going to go under the assumption that he's playing. I don't believe he's sitting out this game.
Right.
But if he were to, you would have to really think. Yeah, obviously that's going to cause.
Yeah, that
problems.
makes you rethink
I can't
everything.
Pick this game, Robin. You can.
No,
you
actually,
can't?
I picked this game as
Wade
well.
can. Wade can.
I'm going to go with Minnesota. I also think this is. I think the Minnesota defense will put a stop to Dallas's offense, even if Prescott's in there or not. We'll see though. Delvin Cook, like you said, running the ball hard. I believe this will be another low-scoring affair.
That is Sunday night. Monday night's not a great one at all. It's the New York Giants are at Kansas City. I don't even know what the line is. I forgot to even know.
10.
The Chiefs are -10, right?
And this is one of the games you picked.
Is it? I don't even remember. But I'll tell you this right now. Barkley, Galladay, Kadarius Toney all look like they're going to miss the game. Mahomes will play. Chiefs are 3-4. I'm not going to tell you who I think wins this game until we get done. But, geez.
I mean, I think the Chiefs clearly win the game. It's not a matter of if they win the game. It's a matter of if they cover. And I think that they actually will. I think they're going to cover the 10 points. I think that they're a better team than they've shown, but not as good a team as they could be. So they're somewhere caught in the middle there, but I think that they're going to make a statement this week.
last week, all of us, before, we weren't at the show, but we talked about it before, how just we shit all over the Giants, and look what they did last week. So Kansas City not being too great, and even I understand that Barkley and Tony they might not play. Did they play last week? They didn't, but then they still won pretty big. So I'm going with the Giants. Giants.
That's a bigger one than I said with the Saints. That'd be huge to win the game outright. Oh my God, that's way bigger than that. If that happens, you got to give him extra wins. He jumps up on something.
Yeah,
you'd have
he
to.
won't catch me, but
it doesn't matter. He'll put me in the rearview mirror even further. Why don't we talk about that real quick? What are the records? What did we do?
We've got it by winning percentage.
What did we do last week?
Last week you were 2-1,
okay.
And overall you're at 44%. I was 3-0 last week, and I'm at 69%. And Wade was 1-2 last week, and is at 40%.
All right, who shall go first, Robin? Your call.
Well, if I go first, then the people will stop watching after my pick.
That is true.
I'll go last.
All right.
Here, I'll give it to Wade.
All right, hand it over to Wade. All right, go ahead.
Maybe we should just put the last person first.
Yeah,
I got my picks. I think I'm gonna be 3-0 this week for the first time. I like New England to win this game. J.C. Jackson, he said some very bold statements saying how they can handle that Chargers offense. I believe him, and that's my team. So I'm going with New England to win this week. Chicago, I believe this will be a close game. I think if they don't win, they're getting 4 points, right? So they're going to cover. I see that as being a field goal game either way. And I also kind of see the same thing in Detroit against Philadelphia. I see it being around a field goal game. So I'm going to flip a coin there because both teams are just garbage, and I'll go with the Eagles.
All right. I'll do mine because we want to close the show with the moneymaker there. I love Kansas City to cover and win by about 50. I don't know what could happen there. I think it'd just be a beating. And I would think they're going to have enough frustration to just take it out on them on Monday night. And I like them by a lot. I love the Chargers this game. Wade's guys, I know they're going to be. I just think the Chargers have also that. They're coming off a bye. They were embarrassed. I don't think that the Patriots will be able to I don't know if they'll be able to keep up with them offensively with the Chargers, but I like the Chargers to win this game. I don't think it might not be a blowout to win by 7, whatever, but I like the Chargers a lot here. And I love Dallas plus, what do we got them at? +2?
+3.
Love them. Love the Dallas Cowboys. Love that it's on Sunday Night Football. Love that I can lose every game Sunday in the afternoon and then bail myself out. Love every minute of it. I'm horrible at 42%, so please don't even take this for what it's worth. But I like the Chiefs -10, the Chargers -4.5, and Dallas +3. 69% is unbelievable, by the way. I want you to know, because when I watch these other gambling shows, and they're, people at 69% usually are selling their picks. I mean, that's how good this is. Only here on Goal Getters could you get 69% winners from somebody, and it's Robin. Go ahead, Robin. Let everyone know.
All right, so this week I'm going to go with Tampa -4.5 at New Orleans. I do think New Orleans has a good defense, and I have respect for that, but I just think that Brady and the Bucs are going to be too much for them. I don't see it as a blowout, but I definitely see Tampa covering the 4.5. Dallas +3.5 at Minnesota. I love Dallas with those points. I don't see Prescott not playing this game, and they just look too good with him at the helm to not take them with points. And then my upset of the week, I'm going to go with Detroit +3.5 at home against Philly. I know you said last week was their Super Bowl. I think this is their Super Bowl again. And I think this time they get it done at home. I'm going to pick Detroit to win the game outright.
And everyone should listen to what we just given out here. Wade says the Giants are winning outright against the Chiefs. I have thought that the Saints win outright against Tampa. There's some good picks here. That Giants one, that will be the greatest pick of all time. Can you imagine if they beat the Chiefs on Monday Night Football? They might be, the Chiefs are, I would almost go out to say they're not making the playoffs. If the Giants beat them on Monday Night Football, it will be unreal.
Yeah,
I can't wait
agree.
now just because you said what you said.
I know.
Now I can't wait to watch. Thank you. Because normally it would be terrible. Well, that's it for another Goal Getters. We had covered a lot. That story with the Blackhawks, check it out. It's a sad story, but there's a lot more to come. NCAA football will be great this weekend as usual. There's some really good basketball. Knicks are 4-1 if anyone cares about that. But there's a lot of good basketball. Hockey is almost in full swing, it feels like now. Sabres playing really well with that depleted team. And watch the Kraken. Leafs are doing what they do all the time. They sit around at 3-4 and just wait until who knows what. But anyhow, I guess that should be it for us, man. It's all over. We'll be back next week. Robin, any final words here? You look like you're ready to say something.
I just wanted to say that everybody enjoy this weekend of sports, but don't forget to take your kids trick-or-treating, answer your door, have a happy Halloween.
All right, Wade, what do you got here to close her out?
And make sure everybody tunes into Falls Count Anywhere tomorrow at 2 p.m. Chris DiCarlo and Charlie Turner are going to give you all the updated news on all the professional entertainment sports, wrestling events, AEW, WWF, and all the others.
Yeah, they're going to be mad at you now. It's WWE.
WWE. I'm sorry. Jeez, I did it again. I promise I'm going to get better.
Oh, no. That's fine. There's so many promotions. That's the thing. They know all the independents. These guys.
These guys are serious wrestling fans.
We got a guest coming up. I can't wait to see him and hear what he's got. Oh man, they've already done that. This is going to be a great show, and I'm excited because as a kid I watched a lot of wrestling. When our kids were younger, they watched wrestling. It's a fun thing, but these guys, man, wrestling is a big deal. And you just look at the ratings. Look at how much it's watched. Look at how much it's followed. I mean, it's probably followed more than the NHL is in the United States. So it's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it. We'll be back next week, of course, going over everything. And there'll be some UFC to talk about. And it's already be November. Unreal. We'll already be in November. Yes, Halloween. Have fun. Do whatever. If you're here in Western New York, calm down. In Niagara Falls, everyone's shook up because Halloween's from 2 to 5, and the Bills are playing.
Record the Bills.
Yeah, especially they're going to beat the hell out of Miami. Relax. Just give the kids candy. You can watch it in the background, right? I mean, come on. Calm down. Anyhow, all right, let's get out of here. Goal Getters for another week. Take care, everybody.